The guy that planned October 7th, the biggest massacre of Jews since the Holocaust, is Yahya Sinwar, and he was killed in an Israeli airstrike. But now, on the anniversary, October 7th, in New York, he's being celebrated as a hero. You know, as if they celebrated Hitler after World War II or Tojo after the surprise attack on Pearl Harbor. I've never heard of anything like this. An avowed mass murderer being celebrated. It's true. Here's the proof. It's in America. If you remember, Yahya Sinwar was the leader of Hamas on October 7th. He had been in Israeli jails for murder and terrorism, was released in one of those prisoner exchanges where Israel got 3 people and the Palestinians got 1,000 terrorists out. Sinwar went back to Gaza, organized Hamas into a deadly monster force that was intended on October 7th to kill tens of thousands of Jews. That was the goal. And eventually to work their way north and hook up with Hezbollah, supposedly coming from the north, and kill all the Israelis, 10 million of them. That was the plan. Well, Sinwar died by accident. It looks like it wasn't intentional, but he did die, thank goodness. He was the mastermind, the head barbarian, as it were. And you would think someone of this level, I mean, this is like Hitlerian level of murder when you think about the number of people killed. His raid was the equivalent of 35 to 40,000 Americans dying in one day. And he had published his instructions that we talked about last week that said, cut off the genitals of the men, rape the women, kill the babies, videotape everything, upload it as fast as you're doing it to terrorize the enemy. Those were all his instructions. Thank God he's dead. You'd think somebody that's that bad, that much of an unhuman barbarian, the whole world would celebrate his death. Wrong! In New York, on October 7th, there were groups celebrating his life and mourning his death. You think I'm kidding? This was the memorial in New York City. There's all the flowers, all the signs, the vigil for Yahya Sinwar and all martyrs in the struggle against Zionism and U.S. Western imperialism. We must continue on the same path we started, or let it be another Karbala. Karbala is the town or village in Saudi Arabia in the Middle Ages where the Muslims slaughtered every man, woman, and child in the village because they were Jews. And so that's what the goal is of these people. And as they were walking around the neighborhood carrying signs and lighting flowers and candles, there were signs like "Glory to the Axis of Resistance." They had Hamas flags and Qurans everywhere. And they were literally embracing this guy. It's a blatant support for terrorism on American soil. And this is somehow free speech. It is absolutely disgusting. And the quotes from the people that were interviewed are just horrific. Can you imagine at the end of World War II, if demonstrations sprung up in New York City glorifying Hitler or Tojo in Japan and celebrating Pearl Harbor? You know, there would have been American soldiers returning from the war that would have beaten those protesters within an inch of their life or worse. Yep. And anyone that fought in that war for America would have been beside themselves, and the cops would have just stood back. Go for it. And the cops might have helped. What has happened to America?
People like Mondami, socialism, communism, the destruction of America, President Trump, America first, supporting Israel, all of it, all of the above. That's what's happened. That's exactly what happened here. And how we got here, no one said anything. People said stuff, but I'll take that back. People said stuff, but no one was listening. Because I know you were saying something, but people were not listening. And now here we are. And now they have an opportunity that they've already taken over Dearborn. They're trying to take over Texas. And now they're getting ready to take over New York. It's pretty disgusting, Barry. Can I tell you what happened this past weekend, too? When I was on the march, I went down to downtown Austin. And I'm having discussion with people trying to talk. And they were upset because I would ask them, what are you so upset about? And they said, well, President Trump said that the Democrats were terrorists. And I said, you're supporting terrorism. And I said, well, let me ask you about the Gaza Strip. And this white female liberal listening into our conversation, because we're walking down the middle of the street, she turns around and said, it's genocide. And I said, see, right there, she's supporting terrorism. She got upset with me, angry with me. This other person, Barry, with this No Kings event, comes up with a Palestinian flag right in my face, pushing me, female again, pushing me. And she has the Palestinian flag. And I'm telling this dude, talking to this dude, I said, see, right there, she's being violent. They're supporting terrorism. Because this whole thing that the left is pushing is not just because they're saying that there's no kings, because they already know we don't have any kings. They're just putting that as the label, but they're anti-American. They want to support terrorist organizations like Hamas. They want to support any organization that's willing to tear down this country. They're willing to bring in MS-13, Tre de Agua, and everybody else that they can think of that would do damage to this country to stop Trump. So that's
all true.
That's what's happening.
All true. Every word of it.